Hey, it's Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. I am in the greenhouse today. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm looking at 65 degrees in here and 7 degrees outside. And I do have a fire going. But I've been in here for 3 hours. I had 3 hours before I have to be someplace. And I'm making some progress here, and I wanted to show you what I'm doing. What that is known as a cold frame. All right, so, and here's one with the top up. Okay, and the top is it's just wired up to that pole right now. And that one goes up too. I didn't actually use hinges on the back. I just used a piece of canvas strap, and I put a screw in it. I put 3 of them on. But what is on the top here, this window, is this polycarbonate material that I've been kind of talking up quite a bit. It seems to be pretty great stuff. You don't want to use it when it's really cold because it has a tendency to crack. But it's fairly easy to cut. I'm cutting it with a 4-inch grinder motor with a zip blade on it, and it's working just fine. What that is, I guess. 4-inch motor is like this, little grinder motor, and the zip blade is real thin. And a lot of times we use these to cut through bolts and things that don't want to come off easy. We call them zips around here. I don't know what they call them in real life. But these boxes will be under, or the plants that are in these boxes will be under 3 levels of light amplification, I guess. That's what you call these filaments that you put up. The filament being this greenhouse plastic. This will have 2 layers on it. It only has 1 layer on it now because one of them blew off. But it's okay. This stuff was really old, and I didn't intend on using it anyway. I just needed it to keep the snow and the rain and make it so we could kind of close it in so you can work in a little bit of warmth. But we think, we don't know, I've read plenty of books on using cold frames in a greenhouse, and apparently you can grow stuff all year long. So we'll see how that works out. I will give you an update on that. I got something for Christmas that's going to work out really well. My oldest son and his daughter gave me a thermometer, and it has 3 different probes. So we'll see if it'll reach to the house. That'd be really good, because I could have a probe outside, I could have a probe in here inside, and then a probe in one of the hot boxes, or cold frames. I've heard them called both. And then it would be really fun to plot the data on a graph by, time of day. So if you plotted it every single hour, and you did that for 10 days, you could render out some pretty interesting information. And you could do it, or you could do it for 30 days. It'd be real interesting to do it even in the summertime. Like, how hot will it get in there? I've been to a guy's place that has these, and we were in his greenhouse in January. It was freezing cold out, like it is today. And it was a real sunny day. And we kept having to call over to some guy that was standing by the door. Hey, open that door. It was so hot in there. And he had no heat going. I've got an overcast day today, so there's really no sun hitting me. And I only have 1 layer of protection. And this layer is really, really scratched up because it was against another layer, and all summer long it blew. It flapped. When you put these on, I guess you want to put them on nice and tight, draw them down tight. And then there's a blower motor. I'll show you a picture of it right there. That connects on, and it'll make a pillow out of these two layers, so you have a dead air space. We'll see. We'll see how that works. I've never actually done it. I've just seen pictures of it, but we'll see how it works. And then we'll see if we can actually plant some stuff in here in, you know, in the wintertime, and see if we can get it to germinate. I'm looking at this right now, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's condensation on the inside of that plastic. This is how these are built. It's a frame. I'm making this all out of rough cut white pine. Now there's quite a bit of moisture in there, and not a lot of reason for it. I mean, it's not like there was any water in there. It's just moisture coming out of the soil, I guess. I'm not really sure. And then I just used a piece of strap on the back and threw a couple screws in it. I didn't need any high-speed hinge or anything. And then in the front here, as you can see, I drilled holes and made carrying handles, because I think at some point we'll want to try moving these around, maybe to a different location in here if we're going to put more dirt in or something. But I experienced firsthand that once these are built, they're a combination of, you have to keep them light, but you're working with fairly flimsy materials. And whenever you go to move something like that, if you don't have good handles on it, you have a tendency to hurt it. So, and I'm just putting it together with 2-inch drywall screws and this poly. So far I've got one, two, three, got 5 pieces of poly that I will be using on these 3. And that poly, I got it at Home Depot, and it's about 15 bucks. And I really like it so far. It's supposed to last for 15 years. Maybe there's a cheaper outlet, but I haven't looked around for it. But this is fine. And I do plan on putting a second layer of poly on that wall. That is the wall that faces south. So I'm a little bit further done in here than I was, I think, last time I showed you. So that I have a door on the south side, and then come around this way, and also a door on the north side. This is my door right here. These are all made out of rough cut. Building with rough cut, if you put it together green, and you're putting it together on something like this where it's going to dry in place, it'll be okay. Now the cracks on the door will become bigger cracks, but I don't really care. It's not like we're building furniture with it. This is construction that we need to last for probably 25 years, and it should in here. Now what I will do with this rough cut is it was really green. The trees were probably cut down this fall, and the guy milled it 3-4 weeks ago, I guess. A friend of mine. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, everything is screwed together tight. I'm going to let it dry in place, and then I'm going to go over it with linseed oil, boiled linseed oil. I bought a can of it. And we'll just put that on with a brush. I'll have Derek do that. It's good keep him busy work. And what that'll do is it'll protect this wood from any molds or anything like that, because there is going to be quite a bit of moisture in here in the summertime. I'm fairly sure. I mean, we're already seeing it. I mean, I think Derek was working in here for about a half an hour yesterday, and the respiration on the inside of this is probably a 1/16 of an inch. So that's quite a bit of moisture, and I would assume that it came from him. Maybe it's coming out of the ground. I'm not really sure. I do know that this box has quite a bit of moisture on the inside of it, and there was nobody in there. I had no puppies in there or anything like that. Okay. Update on the greenhouse. Anyone can farm.